The numbers show, and they have for quite some time, shows that Victoria is a real problem for Labor. It's not necessarily good news for Liberals, but it's a real problem for Labor. We're now a week and a half, almost 2 weeks into this campaign. Is it going better or worse than you expected? I know you've been moving around the country. Has there been some honest feedback from voters? Do you need to do better?
Yeah. I think since January I've been to about 47 seats at last count, Laura. I am losing count a little bit. Yeah, and of course we are working in every state and territory to tell the story to Australians about why they should re-elect a Labor government, and that applies to Victoria as much as it applies to anywhere else. I know that my colleagues in Victoria, my federal colleagues, are out knocking on doors, making phone calls into voters' homes and saying there's a tax cut for every Australian taxpayer. Wages have gone up under Labor. We've got cheaper medicines, GP bulk billing, this new investment in mental health, in women's health, fee-free TAFE, university debt relief, housing investments. All of these things are absolutely focused on reducing the impact of the cost of living on Australians, making life a little bit easier, and reinvesting in Medicare, because we know how much Australians value Medicare, how much they want to protect and strengthen Medicare. That's the story we'll keep telling on the doors, on the phones, in all of that direct voter contact that my colleagues are doing. And that's what I believe will ensure that we see a good win on the 3rd of May.
You're running a bit of a shadow campaign. There's not in the media spotlight every day to compliment Anthony Albanese, but I wonder, having been around politics for quite some time, how many people say to you that they wish you were the Prime Minister?
You know, people love what Anthony's doing at the moment. He's up in Cairns today with our candidate for Leichhardt, Matt Smith, a former Taipans player.
As the Environment Minister, shouldn't you be there?
Yeah. I've been in Cairns 3 times lately with Matt Smith. I launched his campaign recently. He's a former Taipans player. He's going to give Dan Rippercoley a run for his money for biggest bloke in the parliament. And the Prime Minister's there making a fantastic announcement that will make it easier for kids to see Nemo on the reef. It's a $10 million investment that will help school kids travel to the reef. We know that if we teach kids early about the value of our beautiful environment, they grow up to love and protect it in the future.
Okay, let's talk energy, because we're about to see energy ministers debate today as well. And I think what is different this election is that it's not so much a climate change election, it's a cost of living election. And people are worried about the cost of electricity, their power bills not coming down by that $275 figure. Is it any wonder, Tanya, this morning, when we see polling that shows that the Energy Minister, Chris Bowen, could be in danger of losing his seat in Western Sydney, which is on a margin of more than 10%?
Well, Chris has got one of the hardest jobs in government, and he's doing it extraordinarily well. In fact, we've given households about $450. Well, we've given households $450 worth of energy bill relief. Chris Bowen has added 15 gigawatts of renewable energy to the grid since we came to government. Don't forget, Laura, the previous government, first of all, Angus Taylor hid the fact that energy prices were going up by 20% under them. He deliberately hid that fact when he was the Energy Minister. The Liberals and Nationals have opposed energy bill relief for Australian households and businesses. They were told that 24 coal-fired power stations were going to close, and they had no plan to replace that generation capacity. In fact, 4 gigawatts of dispatchable energy left the grid under their watch, and only 1 gigawatt replaced it. We were going backwards under the previous government. Yes, we've got a lot of work to catch up on. We've got a lot of neglect to make up for, but Chris is getting on with doing that. That 15 gigawatts of renewable energy that he's already added to the grid is more than Peter Dutton's nuclear reactors will add, if they are ever built, sometime in the 2040s. He's already done that. Yeah. We are in the middle of one of the biggest transformations of the Australian economy in our history, And Chris, I know, is doing a great job at that, is a great local member. I've been with him on Vietnamese New Year and Assyrian New Year.
Okay.
He knows his community. And just incidentally, we noticed with that poll, seemed to be people in Mossman and the Central Coast were also polled. So I'm not sure, you know, what the quality of the polling is.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair call. But don't you think that people are sick of being told that renewables are the cheapest form of energy when there is no current evidence of that being the case, when their power bills hasn't come down by $275, they've gone up on average $1,300, and we have the rebate that's artificially bringing it down. I mean, that's going to have to be a permanent feature of the budget,
so Laura,
isn't it?
Here's a couple of things. Angus Taylor hid a 20% power bill increase when he was the energy minister. He changed the rules in the parliament so he could hide that increase.
Well, we knew
so
about
we're taking
that when
over
you still promised the $275, to be honest.
And Laura, the $275 promise was that energy bills would be $275 lower than they would be without action. It's not. I know that's been lost in the mists of time, but the claim that the Liberals are making about that promise is different to the promise that was actually made. I'll tell you this. Right now, we've announced that those 3 million households that have got solar on the roof, if they want to put a battery onto their solar, they can save $4,000 in the cost of the installation of the battery and another $1,000 a year off their energy bills.
Aren't they?
We are making it easier for people. Oh, they are expensive. You can get low interest and no interest loans. You can pay it off with the savings across the course of the battery. State governments also have policies that can make the batteries cheaper. But we know that there's more solar in Blacktown than there is in Bondi. We're already seeing Liverpool, Blacktown, Parramatta families investigating whether they can put batteries on because people have worked out on their roofs that solar is cheaper than the alternative. And every study from every energy economist shows that if we were to build nuclear, it would be massively more expensive than new renewables. Coal is exiting the system. They're 40 and 50 years old, these energy generators. We need to replace them with something. Nuclear is more expensive, new coal is more expensive, renewables is the cheapest form of new energy.
Tanya Plibersek, we've got to leave it there. We're well out of time. We'll let you get out of the flight path there in Rosebery. We will see you soon. Enjoy the campaign trail.